You are listening to the Fire Rescue Athlete Podcast with your host, Aaron Zamzow.
What's going on, Fire Rescue Athlete Nation? This is Aaron Zamzow with the Fire Rescue Athlete Podcast. I am a EMT, firefighter, strength and conditioning coordinator, fitness coach, and I've been working in both the fitness industry now for over 25 years and the fire service for well over 15. Here to talk to you today about 4 reasons, or the main 4 reasons that I've found in my experiences working with athletes and with thousands of individuals over the years. The 4 main reasons why people don't really see results with their fitness. Why they either stop progressing or why they don't see the results they want while they are working out and getting and being dedicated. And we'll touch on those 4 things, because right now you might be listening to this and you're in the midst of we're in the midst of COVID-19. We're in the midst of some protests that have turned into some riots, and it's put a strain on us as first responders. It's also a pretty stressful time to be alive, just with a lot of different things going on around us, socially, economically, and of course, then with the health, with the COVID-19. So I really wanted to address and dive into these 4 things. And the worst thing for you to do right now as a first responder is to stop working out, is to stop taking care of yourself, because as we are seeing the data come in from the COVID, obviously poor health quality is being related to the severity of the particular virus and illness. So if you are breaking yourself down and you're not keeping your immune system strong and you're not keeping your body strong and your mind strong, you're going to be more susceptible not only to the COVID, but to other illnesses, other diseases, and also some mental health issues down the road possibly as well. So it's now more important than ever, folks, to focus on yourself and your own health. Now, I know, hey, I got to work all these overtime shifts and I got to do all these different things, and I understand that. But when you took that oath to be a first responder, you took the oath to do it the best you can. And when you break your body down and when you personally are ill, you're not able to do that. So, that's one of the reasons why I started the podcast. It's one of the reasons why I started Fire Rescue Fitness, is to get us as first responders to understand that our health is imperative to how we perform and how we act and how we respond. And I really love the slogan, you can't help them unless you help yourself first. So with that in mind, let's dig into these 4 reasons why. And these are compelled off, again, years of experience working in fitness, working with athletes from amateur all the way up to the professional level. Been very fortunate to work with NFL athletes, NBA athletes, NHL athletes, MLB athletes, even some I got to partake in some workouts with WWE guys back in the day. And so with all these different experiences, now I'm in the fire service, been submerged in there, and I kind of look and I can identify some things that I see that are reasons why we don't make any progress. And the first thing that I see constantly, and if you've listened to any other podcasts in the past, is the biggest mistake I think anybody makes, not just first responders, is that you exercise instead of training. And right now, I think you're probably going, what the heck is he talking about? If you're exercising, that's what we want, right? Well, let me describe this a little bit. Exercising is working out for the effect of that day. So let's say you want to go for a jog just because you're like, I feel like jogging today. And jogging is great. And it maybe clears your head that day, gives you a nice cardio workout. And then the next day you're like, well, I'm going to do arms. And then the next day, my buddy's doing chest. And before you know it, there's no systemic reason for the way you work out, meaning one workout doesn't build on the next. And that's what I call exercising. And you see this all the time in the firehouse. You see this all the time in gyms, is people doing other people's workouts, or what are you doing today? Well, every month, I guarantee you this. So, working in the fire service and actually working in the fitness service and now working in the fire service, I see this like every Monday in most gym firehouses is chest and tri day. It's the same in every gym, chest and tri on Monday, back and bi on Tuesday. Wednesday, everybody skips leg day. Thursday is, make up for arms. And then Friday is kind of biceps and a quick little, bar workout or whatever. And then they're off to happy hour. Saturday is skip and Sunday is maybe a little hangover cardio. But I see that in the firehouses too. I see guys saying, "Hey, what are you doing today?" "Oh, I'll do that with you." And, granted, yeah, hey, at least they're doing something. I get it. I'll give you that. But I'm not going to give you much on that one, because if you constantly are just doing what you want to do instead of what you need to do, you're not going to make any progress. And that's my whole point here. The program that you have needs to build on each other. You're wasting your time if you're just working out from day to day. Okay. And granted, there are some things that go with it. If your workout helps clear your head, if your workout helps you for that particular day, I'll give you that again. But my point being is you have to train with a purpose, right? When we teach someone how to, tap a fire hydrant, or we teach someone how to pull hose, we do it in systemic steps, and we let one skill build on the next. Especially when we look at a new recruit, we don't just put them in the gear, throw them on an SCBA and throw them into the fire. We systemically train them, and you have to approach your fitness the same way. Does one workout build on the next? And you also have to take into consideration the fact that, all right, I didn't get a lot of sleep this day. I'm not going to go out and do heavy lifts the next day with little sleep, poor nutrition. And so you have to obviously be able to adapt that plan to meet the needs of the job and to meet the needs of your life. But take a step back and look at it from a systemic view. When I used to work with athletes, we would have a preseason, a postseason, an in-season, and then, I would almost say like an improve season, and where we look and address those issues that they need to work on to improve their performance. And, we look at it from a year-round training. We would know exactly what and where our athletes were and what we needed to do with them. Now, in the fire service and working as a firefighter or as a first responder, you don't necessarily have seasons. But, if you think about it, we kind of go through our seasons personally. There's times where you're in a little bit better shape. There's times where you maybe aren't in as good a shape. Maybe you're holding a couple pounds. Maybe you're focusing on other things. So think about this. Number one, bringing this all back together. If you're not training, if you don't have a plan, I would almost say 99% of the time I would see people that didn't have a plan were gone, not working out consistently in a matter of a couple of weeks, if not a month or so. And you see that too in the first of the year, right? Gyms are packed until about mid-February. Well, typically those people that aren't there in mid-February don't have a program, don't have a plan. So number one reason that you're not seeing results is that you don't have a plan and a program. And obviously this is one that's near and dear to my heart, because with Fire Rescue Fitness, we got over 5 different programs that we're offering right now. We're working on a 6th. So it doesn't depend. Doesn't matter what your level of fitness is. We got something for you. And I believe that that's why we're seeing some results with FRF, is that we have a systemic program and plan in place. Personally, I like to do a workout program for about 60 days, 40 to 60 days. Then I switch it up and work on something a little bit different. And that helps keep me involved and interested. And, at 46, it helps keep me, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape and that I can keep up with the younger guys. So first things first, start training and stop exercising. Got so excited, I almost messed that up. So now that you're thinking, all right, I got to get a program. I got to make sure that my workouts depend on each other. The second thing that I see people doing a lot of times, and the biggest mistake, whether it's in a gym, whether it's at home or at the firehouse, is that you're wasting time. A workout doesn't need to be over an hour. Let me just say that again. A workout does not need to be over an hour. When we work with our pro athletes, we would try to keep our workouts 55 minutes and under, because I think after a while you can start to lose focus. After a while, I think you could start to get a little bored. You could get sloppy with your reps. There's a lot of things that can happen. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're doing cardio and you're training for a major event where you're, half Ironman, then again, your workouts have to be over an hour, but that's an extreme case. I mean, for the general first responder, keep your workouts under an hour. And this kind of goes back into the plan. If you have a plan and a program, that when one workout works on the next and builds on the next, you don't need that hour, right? Because you know that you're going to address the needs the next day, and that you're building on each particular workout. One of the biggest things that I see that goes on in firehouses and gyms is there's a lot of BSing. In the gyms, it's always around the drinking fountain and around the cable columns. You see people kind of standing around just talking. Now, there is a social aspect to gyms. There's a social aspect to the firehouse. But if it starts to impede your fitness progress, I would much rather talk to somebody during my warm-up or my cool-down, not during my actual program. So one of the things, again, that's really inhibiting progress is procrastination. It is also just kind of waiting too long between sets, and people messing around with their phones. There's a lot of distractions around us. So you need to get focused when you get in there with your workout. One of the things I like to do is I'm going to use my phone for good, and I take it, set a timer on it. And, if the rest interval calls for 60 seconds, I'm on that 60 seconds. I don't mess around with it. And to me, one of the things that I start to focus on, if I start to feel like I'm kind of going through a rut, I'll really go back and focus on those rest intervals and making sure that I'm not taking too much time. And number one, it really kicks your metabolism into gear. Number two, you feel like you're getting more focused. And number three, that then transfers to better results. So stop wasting your time at the gym. Stop procrastinating. Stop doing the other thing. Then this kind of goes into, we always do exercises we like, not the ones we need to do. So if you're skipping your warm-ups, don't. Because those warm-ups, if they're done properly, they're going to help with mobility, which will actually transfer into greater strength gains, which will transfer then into more muscle, which will transfer into better results. So first thing you got to do is get a plan. Second thing is follow that plan. Don't mess around. Don't procrastinate. Don't beat around the bush and waste your time in the gym. And then number three, the other thing that I constantly see is that people do not warm up or do not warm up properly. Let me emphasize that. People do not, first responders, firefighters, do not warm up properly in the gym and or firehouse before they're going to do their warm-ups or before they're going to do their workouts. And I see it constantly. We talked about the guys going down in chest and tricep on Monday. What do? One set of bench. Okay, now let's start our workout. The one thing that you have to understand is that an active warm-up is essential to mobility. An active warm-up is essential to improving flexibility. It then is essential to, transferring into strength, functional strength. And, I'll give you this example. When I work with recruits, a lot of times they're younger. A lot of times they'll come in and they might be that guy or that gal that does that chest and tricep, a workout, and they don't warm up. We had a group of that went through a couple years ago, and we were doing a combine with a local university to get some data. And part of the testing that we did was, bench press. And I had a particular individual, never warmed up, just did the old walked in, did benches. Now his first test was 235. He did 4 times. And I could see that he lacked mobility. I could see that he lacked the flexibility, and his posture was off. So for the next 8 weeks, we didn't touch a bench. We didn't touch a dumbbell. As a matter of fact, we worked on active movements, core movements, worked on strengthening and giving him more mobility. And 8 weeks later, he cranked out 275 for 4. Could have probably done 6. But my point being is that this active mobility or this active warm-up will help you improve not only, again, your mobility and your flexibility, but it'll transfer onto strength. And by warming up properly, you're going to be able to move better, not only through your workout, but through the day and through actually your career. I think these warm-up movements, if you do them, and we suggest, and we actually have great active warm-ups for every FRF workout, that you will see that transfer onto your career, where those aches and pains may not be as prevalent. You can also then hopefully avoid some back injuries at particular times. And there's just a list that goes on and on and on. And this is the reason why I don't like more workouts of the day. You'll see people post, yeah, I did 400 burpees, wrestled an alligator, and then, rode a stallion for 3 hours. That's my workout of the day. To me, those are BS. Even Men's Health posts these workouts, but they don't post the active warm-up. They don't post the cool down. They don't post the foam rolling. They just post, okay, bench press 3 of 10, decline fly 3 of 10, push-ups to failure. Then you're going to do tricep sculls 3 of 10. Then you're going to do tricep kickbacks 3 of 10. I'm like, that's not a workout. So stop doing that, folks. Stop skipping your warm-up. Stop doing these workouts of the day that don't include an active warm-up, don't include core work, and don't include recovery and foam rolling. So, boom. Number 3, you're not warming up properly. I could go on for literally hours on that. But if you want to check out some of the workouts, go to firerescuefitness.com. Our blog posts have offer some workouts that always have active movements and warm-ups in it. And then number 4, the fourth reason, as my timer goes off, I don't know if you heard that in the background, as my timer goes off and says, Zam, stop ranting on and on. But the fourth reason that you're not seeing results is that you're looking for supplements to cure your nutritional deficits. Yeah, you're looking for supplements to cure your nutritional deficits. Nutrition is probably 70 to 80% of the reason why people either fail or succeed with fitness, right? I've had numerous clients. I've seen this thousands of times at the gym. You see people work very, very hard in the gym, and then they go to the bar and they eat chicken wings, drink beer, and they don't really rehydrate well. They don't add the proper nutrition to make those to see the results or to yield the fruit of their work. And I see this in firehouses also, where guys work really hard in the gym and then they go trash it in the in the kitchen, yet they're still doing protein shakes, or as I like to call protein shakes, and supplements, and wonder why they're not losing any weight or losing any fat or gaining any strength. Hear me out, folks. Supplements can be great to supplement a good nutritional plan. Supplement, not to take over for the lack of one. I see it again all the time. Guys will drink 3 protein shakes a day and then they'll eat tons of chicken wings and ice cream and everything else. If you're going to supplement, make sure that you have a strong, solid nutritional base first, or else, number 1, you're pissing your money away. Number 2, you're not going to see the results. Drink enough water, avoid sugars, eating a diet rich in protein, vegetables, fruits. You want to make sure that you get some good fats. If you're doing those things, then maybe for convenience, you can add a protein shake. You can add some multivitamins, and you can maybe add some other things on top of that, creatine and maybe some BCAAs. But for the most part, if you're not eating really well, you're wasting your money by trying all these testosterone boosters and fat burners and stuff like that. So don't look for a nutrition scapegoat. You have to make sure that you understand that fitness and nutrition is a relationship. If you cheat on it, it's not going to work. Okay. So, and I do have a post about supplements. You can go to Fire Rescue Fitness. You could Google it and see. I just posted on it a couple weeks ago about, do you need supplements to make fitness gains? And I think it gives some really good background on that, and will give you some guidance as to if you're going to take some supplements. First of all, what gives you that solid base for nutrition, and then how can you add on top of that? So there you go. 4 reasons why you're not seeing results. If you're not following a plan, right? If you're not sticking to your actual plan, then with strict rest intervals, and you're procrastinating, that's not going to help you either. So number 2, stop wasting time when you are working out. Number 3, make sure you warm up properly, because it can transfer into functional mobility, which goes improve strength, which can add more muscle, which can then burn more fat, which can then make you a lot more happier and have you fitting into that uniform a lot better. And number 4, don't look to short your nutrition with supplements. Make sure that you have solid nutrition base, and then think about adding a supplement to help out to that. So those are the 4 biggest reasons why you're not seeing results. If any one of these kind of hits a little note for you and you want some more help on any one of these issues or any other fitness issues, come to the firerescuefitness.com or come to the firerescuefitness.com blog. You can contact me on that page, and you can read this description of the podcast. You can contact me. I answer questions every single day. I have a tendency, on average, about 15 to 20, and I love to get them every single day. Love to help you guys out any way I can. I have some programs available for every level of fitness, for every goal. So please reach out to me. Let me know how I can help you get Fire Rescue fit. Everybody, lastly, stay positive, stay healthy, focus on your health, focus on lifting those up around you. We need it now more than ever, and we'll get through all of this. So check back to the Fire Rescue Athlete podcast. Let me know if you have questions, topics, anything else I can do to help you out.
Thank you for listening to the Fire Rescue Athlete Podcast with your host, Aaron Zamzow. Please tune in again soon for more fitness tips for fire rescue athletes.